Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. He's arguably the most powerful person in the world, that position that he holds as the leader of the free world, we like to call it. And with the power, he continues to do what he can because he can push boundaries, sometimes stepping into questionable and legal territory. We talked a lot about that lately, if you will. That's why what's going on right now has to be watched. He needs to be watched, followed, understand what he's doing. And the movement doing right now, him giving a rally-style speech in front of the U.S. troops in Qatar, is something that should give us pause. Not because he's a commander-in-chief giving the speech in front of the troops, but because he's Donald Trump giving that time of speech, a rally-style speech in front of the troops. Now, as I record this right now, it's 1 or so local time in Qatar where this is happening right now. It is 5 o'clock or so local time here, a.m. in the United States, where I am in Arkansas. It's 1 p.m. in the afternoon there. And he is speaking at the Joint Air Base in UAE, or Qatar, I should say, shared between the locals there and us. It's a base that we both use going back and forth. Now, there's a lot of historical weight for this base. We're back in the Gulf War, the original Gulf War, back in where, Bush HW. Saudi Arabia wasn't allowing us to use their airspace. They weren't letting us in and out of their actual line of sight to fly back and forth. So with that, the Qataris stepped up. UAE stepped up as well. Many other nations allowed us to use their bases to have staging grounds to attack in the war that some thinks was not really warranted, but it was what happened. So there's a lot of history in the region, history with the bases and the growth there in the current state where Donald Trump is trying to be a friendlier nation and a more engaging nation with the Middle East nations. That's fine. But this is the problem that we're having. It's not the base. It's not the troops. It's not the president per se, but the messages that this president actually does. Because the military is supposed to be about military, apolitical. Troops serve the Constitution, not Republicans, not Democrats, not any other party, not a person. They give an oath to pledge against defending this nation and our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And while Republicans tend to boost defense budgets and be nicer to the military, it doesn't mean that military folks are always queued on to cheer a squad for any Republican president or person showing up. So Donald Trump, who basically avoided actual service in the military due to burn spurs, no big deal there. But now he's the role of military strongman. He has all these tough guys behind him, but all the things to rattle the sabers and show that he is a tough guy. And he spins his usual hits at these things. He's talking in front of troops, opening up about the political victories, like how he won 3 elections when he only won 2, and he's going to maybe consider a 4th one, if it's possible. We'll see. He's backs up back and forth because, he likes to joke and stuff. And he pops out about culture figures. It's all a show. It's all performance. It's a rally speech meant to rouse up the people there to get people ready to engage and go. But as commander-in-chief, you're ready, engaged to go when it's time to go. It doesn't take a pep talk from the commander-in-chief to say, hey, we got to go do this thing, although sometimes it helps. But it doesn't take a laying in thick of how I'm the greatest person ever to be here and I'm going to do so much for you to get things going for military men and women doing service. He has the right to speak to the troops. He has, in fact, maybe an obligation to show up and do some of these things. And people stationed there may appreciate it. But guess what? Some of the people stationed there really want to get back to work. And standing up to clap on cue while the boss takes shots at political opponents is not exactly what these guys signed up for. It is how they have to play the game. The troops will play along. They know the drill. They will not embarrass their boss. And it doesn't necessarily make it the right thing to do. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines are not backdrops for political theater. It cheapens their service. It makes what they do seem like a act as well, when we have a president who seems to be doing this as an act to bolster himself as a very important person, as opposed to leading people who need to be led and helping people who need to be helped and managing a nation and, in a sense of that, a world that needs a little bit of tinkering to keep things going on the up and up, not just for the upscale for his actual net worth. So Trump can say what he wants at this thing. He's going to. And he's doing this right now as I'm recording this. We'll be late for our actual normal recording because I'm doing this recording beforehand, so it's ready to be edited while we're working forward. And we need to pay attention because everything he says, especially when he's in office, is something to be monitored, something to be understood, something to take a hold of because it may come back in a test later. But this thing right here, as it is, the rally style speech, should not happen. Now, I'll be honest. I'm literally talking to you as it's going on. I'll watch the whole thing later on to see what's happening. I saw the opening bits of it, and he did the whole thing going forward. So that was what I have to work with. But we've seen this movie many, many times. And we'll see it again, I'm sure, many, many times. This is not where we should be with this. This is not where he should be doing this, and we know he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to say what he's going to say. He's going to trump like he wants to trump, and it will be. So, comments, go for it. This is a really off-the-topic thing that just sort of happened. We're trying to do more things that are literally live and going on, although this is not a live feed of this. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments.